Good afternoon, Sifu. Anybody watching this is Sifu Wang Hua, who's generally known as Henry to all of his students, is a disciple of Wang Ziyan, an inner door disciple. Our Sifu today is demonstrating our rotation drills and basic preparation exercises. All of these movements are the nucleus of our system, Chen Tai Chi basically. They have therapeutic value for realigning the spine, softening of connective tissue, lubricating joints. They contain the core movements for every martial technique, and at a higher level can be used to breathe in energy through the head, hands and feet, and as a form of Chi Gung. What you're seeing here today is going to be the very basic foundation with one or two variations on some of them. At this point, Sifu is actually showing you wrist rotations. He's doing the most basic form, is just to loosen off the wrists and allow the weight of the body to transfer itself down through the feet. And with that softening of the ankles, knees, hips, and spinal column, the student or any practitioner practicing this will start to feel gradually more and more rooted to the ground. All of the body's meridians run through the wrists and ankles. The reason why we rotate the wrists first of all is to stimulate and clear blockages from the energy network and allow a sense of relaxation and invigoration to precede our practice. We have many versions of these. As you can see, our teacher is now moving from side to side. He'll gradually start to incorporate a bit more waist movement and sometimes start to shake the legs up from the feet, through the knees, hips, and stomach, just to loosen up the muscle structure, thereby aiding circulation. The marvel of these exercises is that we get a great boost to our body circulation without actually having to worry about building up lactic acids. Henry is now closing off this form and getting ready for the next form. The next form is interlacing the fingers together and extending in front of the chest. While doing this, we allow our spine to remain completely vertical. It's very important, if you practice these, not to lean forward. It's really important to suspend the head from the back of the neck or base of the skull and allow the weight of the spine to start sinking into the ground through the hips, through the knees, and through the ankles. This will help us to experience deeper levels of sung, or relaxation and sinking. Without sung, we cannot generate pung. These movements now are generating extension, which relates to strong pung energy. We do it to the center, side to side. Chen Tai Chi is characterized by very soft, graceful, slow, fluid movements that suddenly become extremely powerful and fast. The Chen practitioner never ever really tenses the whole body. All the movements come from the skeleton, so a properly aligned skeleton is crucial for a martial artist. Having very good, flexible and elongated connective tissue is just as important. While doing these movements, we're not only stretching our connective tissue, we're also drawing out the veins and the nerves. This movement here can also be known as plucking the chi, because as you stretch the nerves and hands away from you, you're moving energy from the navel along the connective tissue. Using these exercises as a form of Chi Gung, it's very important to note that as the sequence progresses, you'll notice that we add in lots of small little details that allow the energy to be stored along the tendon and ligament network and into the bones, and then gradually drawn into the rest of the system as the body requires it. We're not doing any navel heating exercises or chi storage and accumulation until much later, when our feet are firmly planted underground, Henry is from here bringing his hands right down to his navel. Breathing should be natural. You can either breathe in as you're going up or breathe out as you're going up. As long as the breath is soft, slow, smooth and steady and natural, it doesn't matter how we're breathing at the first stages of these. Later on we will present a more detailed, in-depth guide to this in our box set, which will cover every aspect of Chen Tai Chi in deep detail. The next movements are extending up over his head and lifting his heels. From here he drops the weight into his heels. What this does is it gives a little bit of a jar to the spine, and also helps to create and maintain a little bit of bone density. And is great for getting rid of stress or muscular tension or nervous tension anywhere in the torso or back. Generally, you can do 5 or 6 of these, or if you have a bit of time, you can spend a whole day running through the whole sequence a few times in succession. Now Henry is rotating the atlas vertebra and the first 5 or 6 vertebrae of the neck. This helps improve balance because the inner ear is moving around and sink the weight. Most of our headaches and stress related problems is because of pressure in the upper back and neck, which impedes the circulation of chi through the microcosmic or macrocosmic circuit, or traps pressure or blood in the brain, right? And so what this does is allows the spinal column to relax. It allows cerebral spinal fluid to sink back down into the sacrum and balance the pressure inside the spinal column. It also allows the nervous system to become stimulated, and as our nerves radiate out from the side of our spine, any kind of pressure on the spinal column will pinch or compress the nerves. This will cause a diminishing in the efficiency of the body, So from here, he's going side to side. He'll be lifting his inner ear and allowing both sides of the spine to elongate. All the while, through all of these movements, we are always mindful of making sure the ankles, knees, and hips are completely relaxed, so there's never any leaning one leg sideways or the other way, or lifting the outside or inside of the foot, or the front or the back of the foot. This is the most important point to consider in doing all of these, that if the ankles are tight and the wrists are tight, the rest of the body will become tight as well. With these movements that you're witnessing now, we are pressing the lower back, mid-back, and upper back into the body, and then relaxing the entire back and pushing the entire back in a C shape backwards. Looking down between the feet, looking up and allowing the weight from the eyes and forehead to settle down through the body. The practitioners of these exercises will benefit greatly and have an enhanced experience if you start to become aware of sensations, such as the air on your skin, the feeling of your clothing, the temperature of the air, the weight of the muscles, the alignment of the joints,